Chapter 39.
Your hair is so pretty.
The girl ran her fingers through Key's firm and slick head fur.
Your eyes are really pretty?
Key fired back with compliments of his own. The girl's eyes were beautiful, but also had a touch of creepy and insane. Key, I didn't mind insane eyes. In fact, he liked slightly creepy eyes. The girl also had awesome boobs. Probably the best boobs in the world. Nothing that Leonardo da Vinci did during his lifetime was remotely as beautiful as the girl's boobs. Key liked her boobs a lot. Key leaned in to kiss the girl. They kissed. It was a friendly kiss, but one could protest that because a friendly kiss includes no tongue. She was just another one of Key's girls. Most girls Key had were younger than him, but this one was older. The brunette Key was smooching was more woman than girl. She did look very young and well-preserved, and people often confused her for a much younger creature. Her nose was thin and perfectly beautiful. It resembled the shape of a beak a tiny bit. Just a hint, but that added to the eeriness of the girl. She was extremely beautiful, there was no doubt about it, but also fear-inducing.
How come you are so smart?
She narrowed her eyes. Charmed by Key's intelligence, she wanted to replicate that admiration. She did look seductive whilst having her eyelids shaped like that.
Jeans.
Key shrugged. The wind caressed his hair.
And so young too. It is an unlikely, rare combination. You come from a good family, that much is true.
Key's was one of the best families genetically and financially.
The competition is really far behind. Let's just put it that way.
Key was well aware.
You are lucky?
The parents worked for the Bureau of Intelligence. Key was in their active digital files and archives. Key, I knew it. He had seen those files but was unable to tamper with them without being detected. The girl didn't know a thing. She just thought that he was a neat boy from a lovely family. She thought that the worst part about his character was that he was spoiled. She didn't know how evil Key was. Maybe it was because she was something of a monster herself, unaware of it, that she didn't sense Key's wickedness.
I'm lucky because I'm allowed to kiss your beautiful lips.
He leaned in to gently kiss her one more time. The cheesy lines he said worked. The girl felt heat waves running from her heart to her pussy. She was bewitched by his irresistible appearance. He had something angelic about him. That much she was sure of.
This place is nice.
She looked around full of tranquility, still vibrating with love. Key, I had taken her to a beautiful penthouse rooftop with a pool, palm trees, and a bar. The music there was some of the best. It was the place of pleasure, and Key was there to please.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites.
Key didn't come here often because he had a pool more beautiful and larger at home, but it was too early to lure the girl home. He wanted to use her for hacking purposes. Not that he didn't also want to do other things with her.
My aunt used to have a garden like this. She was a wealthy woman, and I loved to spend summers at her house. She would spoil me, buy and allow me everything my heart desired. She wrote best-selling Sims. The ones housewives love to experience. You know, romances with vampires, werewolves, billionaires, pirates, and doctors.
The charming woman was holding a cocktail in her left hand. She looked into Key's eyes for a while and then took a sip.
Did she die?
Key was being slightly rude, but honestly, he just wanted to know the truth.
Yeah, she had a strange cellular degenerative disease. All the money in the world didn't help. They just couldn't get the cellular replication process back to normal.
She took another sip. She was still sad over her aunt's death. Her aunt was a loving woman and someone to look up to. An inspiration disintegrated into the void.
Yeah. Actually, I was working on stuff like that not too long ago. I didn't really figure out a way to solve the issue, but I did attempt it. Maybe I will get back to it sometime. Try and fix the, I started to code.
He was telling a white lie. He was working on a virus that did exactly that. He wanted to torture and dismember people without them having an option to be rejuvenated by modern cell science. He wanted for them to be helpless to suffer till they died. Key's lie wasn't very white.
I am hungry.
Her eyebrows gesticulated that she was displeased.
I invite you to some lamb steak, then, or lamb chops if you wish. Your choice.
His tone was slightly prideful.
Oh no, that is wickedly expensive.
The girl shook her head in disapproval.
It's my treat, baby. I will pay. You are not one of those malnourished vegans by choice, are you? I was sure that those morons died out hundreds of years ago.
He loved the taste and effects of meat, especially if it was lamb or bison, the two most expensive types available in mass production. He had tried a little bit of human meat here and there, but found it lacked the juiciness and flavor.
It's way too expensive, baby. I love meat, but it doesn't feel right. It's just too expensive. I appreciate your generosity and chivalry, but I am not the type of girl who needs to be treated and fooled by a meal. I am simple. I don't need luxury to have a good time.
She didn't mean to be rude or ill-mannered.
Okay, Sasha, we can get something else then, and go overnight place.
Kay smiled. He anticipated he would have sex with her.
Let's get food and go to my place instead.
The girl, like an antelope, jumped right out of the lion's maw.
Sure. But let me go for a swim first while you finish your drink, okay?
Kai wanted to feel the water on his skin. He had a peculiar addiction to an obsession with swimming. He loved to float through the water, feeling himself adapt and change with every stroke, to find the right force to get right through it. Like a spermatozoid in the womb, he would slide from one side of the pool to the other with his movements evolving. Humans were once fish, after all. When Sasha and Key arrived at her place, Key instantly noticed that the house was located in a sunny and quiet place. A few palm trees, bushes, and a neatly trimmed lawn surrounded a pool in the middle of the yard. They knew that a house this luxurious would cost a little fortune. He noticed elements of dark redwood around the roof. Entering the house felt like lurking. Sasha shouted to see if her father was home.
He is probably asleep.
The girl was convinced that her father was napping after a bottle of wine or two.
At this hour?
It was before noon. A little too early for a nap, but not for 2 bottles of wine.
Dad!
The walls vibrated from her shout.
I don't think he is home.
He put the groceries on the kitchen table and parked his ass on one of the chairs.
He is retired and sleeps all day long. He calls it a meditation.
The girl narrowed her eyes, disagreeing with her father's laziness.
Yeah, I am right here, dear.
Her father limped from the guest room with messy hair.
Are you hungry, Dad? We brought food. I will cook for you. What do you say?
Sure, honey.
Her dad yawned. His lips were stained with red wine. Key almost mistook the purplish lips as a sign of a failing heart.
Hello?
Sasha's father shook Key's hand. The firm warmth and gentleness of his hand made Key understand why Sasha loved her father. Now he realized that she wasn't like the other girls he fucked. They all were daddy's little girls. Guilt-tortured whores that wanted to feel bad for desiring dick. However, Key, I didn't mind being used in such a terrible way by evil, horny girls. The moment he released the father's hand, he suddenly hoped to never fall in love with his daughter. Kia had been convinced that Violet was meant for him, but now he had started to doubt if that was really true.
A fine day to you, sir.
Key's gestures were minimally witty because of the state of Sasha's father.
I can't wait for you to cook me a tasty meal.
The father stretched, then licked his dry lips and looked around the kitchen for water.
Here.
Sasha passed him the water. She was a loving and caring daughter babysitting her old man. The old man gulped the water down and returned to life.
We bought fish. A trout.
Sasha observed her father. She didn't know if he liked trout, but she did know that he liked fish in general.
Sounds great. Also sounds like a lot of fish bones.
The father preferred meatier and fattier fish with less bone. Too much spitting involved.
So, what did you do today?
Sasha went to work unpacking the groceries.
I was just napping in the other room. I couldn't get the damn bed working last night.
Sasha's father turned to Key.
I bought an antimatter bed the other day, paid for the delivery and all, but turns out they just bring it to your house and they don't put it together. I have no idea how that thing works.
I can try to set it up for you.
Key hated putting furniture together, even more so for a man who would always hold the heart of his daughter in his hands and never give it away to any other man.
Great. You are an angel in times of despair.
The father whistled and dug into one of the cupboards to fish out a bottle of red wine.
I have one of those beds, too.
Kay looked at the bottle.
Wine?
The father sleazily smiled.
Yeah.
He nodded.
And for you, dear, would you like some wine?
Please.
Sasha observed all the products in front of her. Her father didn't have a touch of creepiness in his eyes, so she must have inherited it from her mother. The father poured the bottle into 3 glasses. Everyone smelled the wine and took a sip. The father thought it was fine. Key thought it was slightly dry but fruity tasting. And Sasha thought it was like all wine. She only drank a little bit because she wanted to have her mindset clear for the cooking process. Wine made her feel lazy. Later, they enjoyed a pleasant conversation, more fine wine, and the trout with vegetables. The afternoon turned out just beautiful. Key helped Sasha's father with the bed and got it working. The father cheered that the bed was the best thing in the world. They drank a lot of wine and got real close. Key started to really like and maybe almost love Sasha's father. The father fell asleep on the antimatter bed. The young ones cuddled outside by the pool. It was warm and the wind blessed their souls and bodies in the garden. Key nibbled on her beautiful breasts and slid his hand inside her panties to massage her clitoris. Sasha asked him if he wanted to have sex.